Okay, good evening everyone. It is 7:12 p.m. on July 19th, and I hereby call to order the July 2023 meeting of the Village of Tivoli Board of Trustees. Would you please join me and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. The village clerk's report. Clerk Bruno, please.
Yes. In the past month, there were 411 trash tags that were sold, 2 payrolls processed by Treasurer Day. Laura Gale Tyler, our deputy clerk, continues to work with the planning and zoning boards. Coming up Saturday, July 29th, will be the village-wide yard sale day. There are still spots available. If folks come in by noon on Friday, their address would make the map. If you choose to have a sale at your home, it would be $10, and if you need rental space in the parking lot, it's $20. And I imagine you'll cover the camp and community.
So that's our 34th annual Tivoli Yard Sale Day, is that right?
So, yes.
Wow. And also this year, we're going to have some help folding the maps. Some of the campers at Camp Scatico nearby, the camp reached out to us looking for some community service. So they, on the 26th of July, they're going to do a day of service, some different age categories. So our maps are going to be folded by 9-year and 10-year-old campers at Camp Scatico, and then returned to us in time for the day. So and their older kids are going to be making us this very cool pair of benches that transforms into a picnic table in their wood shop. So more on that soon.
Eagle Scouts?
They're Scatico campers, and the 13 and 14-year-olds get to do the building. So
I think we have a municipal exemption for child labor.
Thank you, Clerk Bruno. Trustees, we have a single set of minutes in our binders, June 21st regular board meeting. Is there a motion to approve these minutes? It was moved by Mangieri, seconded by Major. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to the treasurer's report. This month we spent $54,441.63 out of the general fund, and that's also our grand total, $54,441.63. Is there a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll move. Second.
That was moved by Baldino, seconded by Schilling. Any discussion? As always, I want to thank Treasurer Day for her excellent work. All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So
That was Mangieri, followed by Major. All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to a zoning report. Trustee Schilling, please.
Got it. Building permits reviewed, 5. Building permits issued, 4. Complaints, 2. Complaints investigated, 2. Zoning property maintenance violations, 3. Appearance tickets, 0. Municipal searches, 1. Inspections, 12.
Thank you, Trustee Schilling. At this time, we would normally have public comment on our agenda items, but we are not joined by the public this evening, so we'll move right into our regular agenda. We first have end of fiscal year 23 budget modifications. These were prepared by Treasurer Day and our bookkeeper, Michelle Zagorski. And what this is, at the end of our fiscal year, which ended May 31st, some budget lines went over, some budget lines have money left over, and there has to be a grand reckoning to even everything out, so we end up at 0. It was a lot this year, and I want to thank her for her work. Trustees, we reviewed this in the workshop, so I ask if there is a motion to accept the budget modifications in your packet.
I'll move.
Is there a second? Okay. Major, followed by Schilling. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next up, we have a motion to approve the Farron's Elevator Company's proposal of $6,450 for an urgent repair of the Village Hall elevator using $6,450 of the village's ARPA funds. So the elevator in this building, which is required for us to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act, we have a company that does regular maintenance, and they've discovered that some of the gaskets are failing and it's leaking some oil. They've been studying this carefully for several weeks and have advised us that it needs to be repaired and repaired soon, otherwise worse things can happen. And some of us may recall, 10 years ago when that elevator failed big time and was out for over a year and cost us about $50,000 to repair. So we're quite interested in fixing this right away. And also I want to be clear that the board is going to use $6,450 of our ARPA allocation. So that is the American Rescue Plan money. The Village of Tivoli got $110,000 for that. Because we are under a $12 million threshold, it can be used on any governmental function or purpose, like maintaining your village hall elevator. So that's the explanation of that action. Is there a motion to approve the Ferens Elevator Company's proposal of $6,450 for urgent repair of village hall elevator using $6,450 of the village's ARPA funds?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
That was Mangieri, followed by Baldino. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on, we have a resolution authorizing a task order under agreement with Ty & Bond Engineering regarding a grant application for the village's local waterfront revitalization program. Ty & Bond is going to charge the village $2,000 to prepare this grant application. And for those of you who've been following the village's LWRP update, maybe attended the big meeting we had, maybe are filling out that online survey, which is out and about right now, we'll know something about an LWRP. I want to remind folks we have an entire page dedicated to this on our website now, which will show you the draft document. It's actually a rather amazing document written by some overly qualified volunteers on our committee. We got a grant to do this update because our LWRP dates back to 1993. We've spent down the first grant, we're not quite finished. The Department of State has advised us to apply for more funding to complete the job. So that's what we're doing, and we're looking to have Ty & Bond get that in under the Consolidated Funding Application Program, which is due at the end of July. So this is a task order authorizing them to go ahead and prepare the grant application. Is there a motion to do so?
I'll move.
Second? Baldino got the second on that, so any further discussion? I'll do a roll call, please. Deputy Mayor Major?
Aye.
Trustee Baldino?
Aye.
Trustee Schilling?
Aye.
Trustee Mangieri?
Aye.
And I also vote aye. So thank you, Ty & Bonds. Okay, so next we have the actual a resolution authorizing the consolidated funding application to New York State Department of State for LWRP update. So we've told Ty & Bond they can get to work, and we're telling the state that yes, indeed, we do intend to apply for this grant. The grant amount we're asking for is $50,000, and there is a local match which would work out to us being responsible for $7,500, which is a 15% match, which is pretty good as far as grants go. Trustees, we discussed this I think, in the workshop and in my previous remarks, so we'll move right in to a motion authorizing the resolution for a CFA application for the LWRP update.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Good luck, Tivoli. Hope we win it.
Woo!
They've already invested in us, getting us halfway. It's like the guy I met, he used to shine shoes. He's like, first one's free, second one's $5.
Oh.
Yeah, so. Good luck, Tivoli, on that. Roll call vote, please. Deputy Mayor Major?
Aye.
Trustee Baldino?
Aye.
Trustee Schilling?
Aye.
Trustee Mangieri?
Aye.
And I also vote aye. Okay, next we have a resolution authorizing solicitation of proposals for acquisition of a used light-duty rescue truck. The magnificent Tivoli Fire Department came to the village board recently and explained that they have great need of a light-duty truck, more like a heavy-duty pickup than a 30-foot fire truck, to carry equipment, to take members to necessary trainings, etc. We all know we don't have the funds to go get a brand new one, so we are putting out a request for proposals for a used vehicle. So we have a bid package here. I want to thank village attorney for working on this, and Assistant Chief Mark Hildenbrand as well. So trustees, we went over this in the workshop. We've got notice to bidders. This will be noticed in the paper and sent to folks who we think might have a used truck of the right specifications. It's got a list of all the specs, and this will be listed until August 1st, at which time hopefully we'll have some bids and we can consider finding a used light-duty rescue truck for our TFD. Okay. All right, is there a resolution to move forward with this solicitation of bids?
No, but you can have a motion.
How about a motion?
I move.
I'm moving fast here. The Deputy Mayor has moved it, Trustee Baldino has seconded it. Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Okay, we have a roll call, please. Deputy Mayor Major?
Aye.
Trustee Baldino?
Aye.
Trustee Schilling?
Aye.
Trustee Mangieri?
Aye.
And I also vote aye. Related to that is our next resolution. Is it 2017 we set up the reserve? Did we discover that? I think we did. That's as I recall. In my early years as mayor, we did something that I'm very proud of, which is any monies unspent in their annual allocations by the Tivoli Fire Department or the Rescue Squad, rather than going off into the general fund balance, as happens with any other overages we have at the end of a fiscal year, we established a separate reserve fund. So, you know, it's still money that we said this is for what you all do, and they're often quite thrifty. They do a lot with a little, and so every few years, some overages end up in that account. We used it once before to buy the chief's vehicle that we've had for a few years, and currently there is $39,000 in that, and we want to free ourselves up to spend that money in the event that we find a truck that satisfies us. So this action is actually subject to permissive referendum because of the way we set up this reserve. Unspent money just goes in there from those three budget lines, but for us to take it out and spend it on something, it's subject to permissive referendum of 30 days. Is that correct? 30 days. So, so here we have a resolution authorizing solicitation. Whoop, turn the page. There we go. Authorizing the expenditure of $39,000 from the Fire Department Capital Reserve Fund for the acquisition of a used light-duty rescue truck for use by the Fire Department, subject to permissive referendum. So if we end up not buying a truck, then we just leave the money there, but this would allow us to actually spend the money on a truck. With that, is there a motion, recovering, to authorize the expenditure of $39,000 from the capital reserve for a used truck by the fire department, subject to permissive referendum?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
Okay, that was Mangieri, followed by Schilling. Any further discussion? A roll call, please. Deputy Mayor Major?
Aye.
Trustee Baldino?
Aye.
Trustee Schilling?
Aye.
Trustee Mangieri?
Aye.
And I also vote aye.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
What are the three lines, the budget lines that we pull for that reserve?
So it's the lines that are referred to in the budget as, let's see, fire admin, and rescue. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. They're 3, 4, something. They're in the, I almost know the numbers.
Okay.
They're in the 34s or so. Okay, and lastly on our agenda tonight, we have a resolution authorizing solicitation of proposals for a Broadway Crosswalks project. And I'll give a little background here. We won a community development block grant 2 years ago for Broadway sidewalks. I've been talking about this for quite a few months. We just issued the notice to proceed today, so soon indeed. The sidewalk from what is now Plain Hall, the old St. Sylvia's, westward towards Cotspawn and Woods Road, that's all getting replaced. We were fortunate in our $150,000 grant award that we got some nice bids, so we had some money left over. We went back to the county, we said, what if we added a crosswalk to this project? And we said, sure. So we're soliciting proposals to put a crosswalk at Broadway and Woods Road. And built into this would be some alternates for painting additional crosswalks along Broadway. So that would be right out this window in front of this building, up at Clay Hill, and the 4 at the main intersection. We are known as a walking community, and we're on the Empire State Trail, and the crosswalks feel to me more important than ever, and they do need to be maintained. The paint's been fading, all our salting and whatnot in the wintertime. So hopefully we'll get some good proposals at good prices that would allow us to do this. But we're grateful to Dutchess County Planning for their flexibility on letting us sort of squeeze this into a previous grant. So with that description, is there a motion authorizing the solicitation of proposals for Broadway Crosswalks project?
I move.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
That was Major followed by Baldino. Any further discussion?
No.
A roll call, please. Trustee Baldino.
Aye.
Trustee, Deputy Mayor Major. I'm starting to wobble again.
It's getting hot in here. Aye.
Yes. Trustee Schilling.
Aye.
Trustee Mangieri.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. And I will inform Crawford that they can put those out. Does warm up fast. Our next board meeting will be held Wednesday, August 16th, here at the historic Watts de Peyster Hall, with a workshop at 6 p.m. and a regular board meeting at 7 p.m. We are going to have our regular workshop second Wednesday, August 9th, and we are scheduling a special meeting of the village board for Thursday, August 10th at 7 p.m. and the location will be Memorial Park. The Board of Trustees, we've been talking for some time about trying to make additional improvements to our wonderful park and continue to embellish that great thing in the middle of the village which ties us all together. And anytime we get together, more than 3 of us, it's an official meeting. So the purpose of that meeting is so we can all actually be in the park, walking around, talking about the many wonderful things that we would love to do over there. I also want to announce to the public and to the board, so we didn't get to this in the workshop, we're going to have some very special guests at our August 16th board meeting. And this will be Lisa Terracone from Taconic Resources for Independence and some of her associates. TRI is an organization that I've been working with now for slightly over a year. They advocate for the disabled, and I had the great honor of actually being their keynote speaker at their second annual Tri-Inclusivity Festival at the FDR Library a couple weeks ago. They have been, they're based in Rhinebeck, and they have been, I'd say, working with, pressuring, monitoring all the municipalities in the county to make sure that we are all fulfilling our obligations under the Americans with Disabilities Act, which was passed in 1990. And they've been in here, they met with me several times. They went back and they looked at all the grants Tivoli has done in the last 10 years. And we're very impressed with how many of our grants have an ADA component. When that was our the $100,000 we put into Memorial Park, Pine Street Phase 1 and 2, the bus shelter, all of our sidewalks have the truncated dome mats for the visually impaired. We now, I'm pleased to say, with their help, our website is correct and has all the required information that it's supposed to have. And so, building on that relationship with them, I asked them to come in and talk more about what the ADA is, how important it is to people it's meant to serve and protect. And so they'll be in here. I've asked them to make a little presentation. This month is the 33rd anniversary of the ADA, and one of the things that was discussed at their second annual festival at the FDR Library was, you know, once a year this thing should be called out and recognized and celebrated, and they're doing it. And I said, well, we'll help you do it. I knew we had a busy July, but I said come in August. So really looking forward to having them come. And you know, I hope that they came in, and I set up a meeting with a lot of our businesses as well, because under the ADA there's Title II and Title III, and one is for private entities. If you're a restaurant, etc., you have to make accommodations so you're not discriminating against the disabled. And then municipalities also have obligations. So that will be on August 16th. Moving on to trustee reports. Trustee Schilling, anything you want to talk about tonight?
The only thing is that working on that possible solar over at the capital landfill. I'm meeting on Monday with the town supervisor
Great.
and his energy guy.
Great.
To go over what we want to do. So
Excellent.
hopefully next time we meet I'll have some information.
Good. Thanks for working on that. Trustee Baldino, we have the Justice Court report.
I think that there is an error in the printout for the Justice Report, Robin. If you look at the paper, I think that there's...
Because it's all zeros?
Because it's all zeros. But there's a
Maybe
number
they
on
didn't
the...
meet?
But because the report's only from the first.
Oh, I see. They give us this.
Do they
That
get...
comes from the court,
Oh,
they don't
yes.
generate that.
So there's
Okay.
something wrong with it.
Okay.
I could read the number, see there's a number there, but I don't know what that is. See.
All right, well, why don't we, we'll get back and check with the court
Yeah.
and see, because it does seem like there's perhaps a typo on their report this
Yeah.
month.
Well, yes, I think so.
Yeah, okay, all right. Trustee Mangieri, police report, and anything else you'd like to talk about?
Yes, for the police report for the month of June, there was a total of 19 incidents, 21 uniform traffic tickets, and 5 parking tickets and 0 arrests.
Thank you.
Sounds like we're behaving.
Except for speeding and parking. Okay, yeah.
I'm excited to see that summer is here, even though it's wet. The park looks good, that we took the skate ramp out, I mean, it was time. It looks bigger now.
I did hear from some residents about, you know, yes, it was time, and yeah, that graffiti thing. I mean, someone said, I'm glad the mayor said something about the graffiti being an issue, because we still have other graffiti challenges over there in our park. And as we're thinking about, you know, investing, that's always a frustrating challenge.
Yeah, we can smear it with Vaseline.
There you go.
Anyway, I look forward to talking about it, and I see good things in the future for Tivoli Memorial Park.
Absolutely. Deputy Mayor,
Just the park, right, Christine?
Deputy Mayor Ranger?
Yeah, I mean, summertime and the living's easy and there's lots of stuff going on. So I would say check the library website. There's a few events at Claremont, look like a lot of fun. And Historic Red Hook, there's a benefit for Historic Red Hook at the Elmendorf Inn on August 6th. So Sunday, 3 o'clock. It's a concert of early Scottish music. James Ruff, a noted tenor, and Gaelic harpist will be performing. So come hang out on the green. You can get tickets online at Historic Red Hook. In terms of nature, man, it's out there. It is lush. If you'd like to zoom in on my poison ivy, it's really gross. So get out in the bays, but be careful, wear a hazmat suit, and enjoy it.
Thank you. Let's see. I'll restate that yard sale day is the 29th, and 1 week after that, on August 5th, will be the return of Tivoli Community Day. It's going to be right over there in Memorial Park, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. And it blows my mind, but we actually haven't had a Community Day since 2018. 5 years. And I know that I said when I came here, we're going to have Tivoli Day all the time. We did it for a couple of years. We did it for 15, 16, 17, 18. Then 19 was the double centennial of the 2 fire departments, so we didn't want to steal their thunder by having our own Community Day. We wanted everyone to get over there to Red Hook for that. Then there was this pandemic for a couple of years.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then we had our sesquicentennial last year, which was, you know, Community Day on steroids. So now we can just have a nice one-day thing. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be, again, Saturday, August 5th, over at the park. We are going to have participation from the Tivoli Free Library, the Masonic Hall, the American Legion, Tivoli Fire Department. There's going to be some vending. There might be some Tivoli t-shirts available. I think Tony Stafiro wants to bring some of his carving there. There's going to be all sorts of, I'd say food, but let me be precise. There's going to be a lot of meat on offer. There's going to be hot dogs, hamburgers, pulled pork, and sausage and peppers for sale by those wonderful civic organizations that I just mentioned. We are encouraging people to bring salads, sides, and desserts. Folding chair, picnic blanket. We are also going to have a lot of entertainment. We reactivated the Sesquicentennial Games Committee, who came out of retirement to put together a whole program of games. I think there is going to be a community kickball game, along with water balloons and tug of war and other things that we're working on. At 5 o'clock sharp, and I want to say sharp, if you show up at 5:02, don't complain. We're going to take the community photograph. You've seen in Village Hall, we have photographs from our other community days. They're really, really wonderful documents of, you know, a snapshot of our community. There are people in there who have aged. There are little kids who are now driving. There are a lot of wonderful Tivolians that are in some of those earlier photos who are no longer with us. So I just love getting everyone in the picture. We're a small place, and it's a metaphor. Everyone here is in the picture. So get in the picture at 5. And then we have Miles and the Upstate is going to be one of our local bands. That's Miles Sweeney. And I think he has 6 bands, so I said pick one and come to it. I think it's jazzy folky fusion, he described it as, and a lot of originals. So it should be perfect. And then we're going to have, returning by popular demand from the Sesquicentennial, Country Cadillac. It's going to play from about 6:30 to 8:30. And then also from the Sesquicentennial, although we've moved them from North Road onto the pavilion, we're going to have a DJ dance party, and our modest DJ asked, give me some great handles so I can say DJ so-and-so.
DJ Easy, somebody.
I'm just going to go with DJ Clay Hill Road for now.
Okay.
And his Sue DJ, S-O-U-S, Sue DJ, from Broadway. So that'll be really fun. It'll go till 9:59 when we have to fold it up for the noise ordinance. But it should be a lot of fun. Tivoli Day. And the TFD is going to have a big beer tent. And so all the proceeds of that will be going to the firehouse expansion. So the more you drink, the closer we get to the building. Be responsible, but come and enjoy our community on the 5th.
Liberally.
And then 2 days after that is the beginning of the Tivoli Children's Recreation Camp, which will run this year from August 7th through the 18th for 2 weeks. I'm pleased to tell the board that yesterday morning I had 2 counselors, and yesterday evening I had 5. Which was great. So Tuesday I'm meeting with the Board of Health to go over the vast tome of paperwork that I've been putting together and go over and do the inspection in the park to make sure everything's safe. Sign-ups are open until July 28th. Friday the 28th you can still sign up. And it's Tivoli residents, $30 a week for your first child, $20 a week for siblings, non-residents, $40 a week for your first child, $25 for siblings. We need all the regular medical clearance and immunizations. It's ages 5 to 14, and you can pick up the forms and applications at the clerk's office. So that's what I have, and I see that we do have a member of the public who has joined us, Supervisor of Red Hook, Robert McKeon. Nice to see you, sir.
It's nice to see you all.
Just coming to Tivoli for some ice cream, you thought you'd drop in?
Well, of course I traveled a long distance. No, the truth is I was just at a meeting down the block and I thought I would stop by, and
Thank you.
I have to schedule something on Monday with Bill, so thought I would give him the time that works for us. So.
Great, well, nice to have you. You missed all our comments about the town before, so.
We said
Okay,
nice things.
I hope it was at least mediocre.
Yes, yes. But we did start talking about LoSAP
Okay.
tonight, and we're still waiting on some numbers from PenFlex, but
Did we schedule the special meeting, speaking of, for that?
no.
We were talking about scheduling a special meeting for the 2nd. I think we need to do that.
For the 2nd?
Right? Or whatever works
Sure.
for you that week.
Yeah, do we want to take a moment and look at our calendars?
We need to do it before the 8th if you're gonna do it.
The 2nd is,
That's
Yeah.
right, the August 8th, you're right. We can do that.
what day of the week is the 2nd?
It's a Wednesday,
Wednesday.
but you know, whatever works for you guys.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
You know. I think you should probably schedule something.
Cool.
Do you all want to do evening? Probably doesn't need to be a very long one.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
6?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion to set a special meeting of the village board for 6 PM on Wednesday, August 2nd?
I'll move.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, that was Major, followed by Baldino. All in favor? Aye. Okay. So 4 board meetings in August. Excellent. Yeah.
We are
Thank you for the reminder on that, Council.
Was it?
So we're interested, do you want to talk a little bit about why the communities are looking at this? And the state changed the limit, right? Is that what happened?
Exactly. A reflection of increasing costs. You know, when we first adopted the LoSAP back in 2007, I think at that time it was, the limit was $700, I believe. Chris, maybe correct me if my memory's not accurate. What was adopted, however, sort of at the last minute was 500, and I remember it was sort of it was a sensitive thing because the firefighters weren't granted the opportunity to get the max at the time, and so, you know, obviously this stipend is not, you know, going to change the financial picture for any one of our dedicated volunteers, but it's an important, I think, from a psychological, but also from a reimbursement standpoint. You know, a lot of them really do spend, you know, expenses on their own, certainly a lot of time. And so this gives us an opportunity to say thank you and to fully reimburse them in many cases for expenses that they incur. It's a small thank you as compared to the effort that they put in. So we think it's critical. We couldn't do half of what we do if we didn't have volunteer fire programs.
Right.
I mean, that's just the simple reality. We would have to dedicate a lot of the investment, and we've made tons of investment in the township over the last decade or so. We wouldn't be able to do that because we would be using it for paid companies at this point.
Yeah, if there was a paid company, I don't think the village probably would exist.
I remember we did the analysis back in 2007. Even though I wasn't on one of the boards, I was involved in the campaign, even though it is just villages that vote on it. But I felt very strongly about it and did some estimates, and back then we were looking at a couple $1 million a year before paid companies. I can't imagine what it would be now, but suffice it to say it would be significant. And it already is a challenge for many working families to remain in the community, even with this incredible deal that we have with our fire companies. So I think it's important, and I appreciate that you're considering putting it up on the ballot for the general election. It's important that everybody be involved and have a say in whether they'd like to do it. And I have a good inkling that they would be inclined to support it.
You know, it's a good time also for Tivoli to thank the town for working so closely with us on emergency services, whether it's the building expansion, vehicles that we need, letting us do the double centennial over there instead of over here. We really appreciate it. You know, we're one community and public safety is number one, right?
Yes, you are one of our 2 favorite villages.
You're so kind.
So kind. Any other comment from the public? Anything else from the Board of Trustees? I'm going to close again on a sort of serious, sad, and sweet note. It was only last month that we were here dedicating this bench to Howard Corky Clark, who had passed away, longtime village justice. And here we are only a month later, and there's another wonderful Tivolian who's passed, and that would be Ginger Grab of Montgomery Street. Long time Tivoli resident, long history at Bard, was an Episcopal priest there, served on the Tivoli Planning Board for many years. I don't know how many. I asked Donna and she just said forever. And the deputy mayor and I attended her service today at St. John's in Berrytown. It was really sweet. And I also recall that under Mayor Crana, at some of his State of the Village addresses, reorg meetings, he asked her to do an invocation for Tivoli, which she also did. So, as is our tradition, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn in fond memory of Ginger Crab.
I move.
Is there a second?
Second.
That was the deputy mayor, followed by Schilling. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned in memory of Ginger Crab. Have a great evening.